Okay, let's get right into it. If you trade, you've spent, well, probably countless hours staring at charts, right? Learning indicators, trying out new strategies. But what if I told you all that stuff, it's only a small piece of the puzzle? Today, we're diving into the one thing that truly separates the winners from the losers, and it's something most people completely ignore.
So, look at this number, 80%. What is that? Well, according to just about every trading expert out there, your actual technical skill, reading charts, finding patterns, that's only about 20% of what makes you successful. This number, this giant 80%, that's all in your head. It's psychology. It's your mindset, your discipline, how you handle the pressure. This is where the real game is played.
And honestly, this leads to a pretty tough truth. You hear that stat all the time, right? That 90% of traders fail. Well, it's not because their strategies suck, or they can't read a chart. Nope, it's because they lose the battle inside their own head. They let fear and greed take the wheel, and poof, a perfectly good strategy goes right down the drain, along with their account.
So, if you want to win this internal battle, you've got to know who you're fighting. And here's the crazy part. The enemy is usually, well, it's us. It's our own brain. We're talking about these little mental glitches called cognitive biases. Think of them like silent assassins, just waiting in the shadows to mess up your best trades.
All right, so as we go through these next few, I want you to do a little self-check. And be honest here, okay? Which one of these makes you go, oof, yeah, that's me? Because just seeing the trap for what it is, that's the first and most important step to avoiding it.
First up, the big one, confirmation bias. You know how this goes. You decide to go long on a stock, and suddenly everything you see confirms you're a genius, right? Every news story seems positive, every little green tick is a sign from above, and you just kind of ignore that bearish divergence or the fact that volume is drying up. The VIX? You have to force yourself to be your own worst critic. Before you hit that buy button, literally try to convince yourself not to take the trade. What's the bear case? What could go wrong? Go find those reasons. Seriously.
Next, let's talk about loss aversion. This one is powerful. Neuroscientists have shown that the pain of losing, say, $100 feels twice as bad as the pleasure of gaining $100. It's just wired into us. And this is exactly why traders do that thing. They snatch a tiny profit because it feels good, but they let a losing trade run and run and run, hoping it'll come back. The only way to beat this is to make it mechanical. Your stop loss, your take profit, those are not suggestions. They're unbreakable laws you set before you're in the trade and your emotions are running wild.
And then there's the one that gets you when you're feeling on top of the world, recency bias. You've just had 5 winning trades in a row. You're feeling unstoppable. You think, I've finally figured it out. So what do? You double down. You get sloppy with your risk. And bam, one bad trade wipes out the whole week. Sound familiar? Real discipline means your rules don't change. Your position sizing, your risk, it's the same every single day. Hot streak or not.
And speaking of those cold streaks, let's just get this out of the way. They will happen. They are 100% going to happen. I don't care who you are, nobody wins all the time. A drawdown, which is just a period of losing, is totally normal. What separates the pros from everyone else isn't that they avoid them, it's how they handle them.
And this right here, this is the emotional roller coaster of a drawdown. I bet this looks pretty familiar. You start out feeling great, confident in your system, then a couple of losses hit, and a little bit of doubt creeps in. Then a few more losses, and that doubt turns into actual fear. You start thinking, oh man, am I going to blow up my account? And if it keeps going, that fear can turn into pure despair, where you just want to throw in the towel. The key is to see where you are on this path so you can stop it before you hit rock bottom. So how do you fight that emotional spiral? With a logical plan. This is the difference maker. Pros don't just wing it and hope for the best when they're losing. They have a framework, something just like this. See here? If your account is down, say, up to 5%, no big deal. Business as usual. But once you hit a 10 or 15% drawdown, notice what happens. They start cutting their position size. They reduce their risk. If it gets to 20%, they might even stop trading live completely, go back to the simulator and figure out what's wrong. It's a system, not a panic attack.
Okay, so we've figured out the enemy within, and we have a defensive playbook for when things go south. Now let's talk about offense. How do we build that rock-solid, unshakable confidence? The kind that doesn't just evaporate after 1 or 2 bad trades. I'll tell you right now, it's not about positive thinking. It's about a concrete, step-by-step process.
Real confidence in trading is earned, not just wished for, and you earn it through competence. It starts right here, with building a trading system that has super clear black and white rules. Then, you prove to yourself that it actually works by backtesting it over tons of historical data. After that, you validate it in real time with paper trading. Then, and only then, you start with tiny position sizes, with real money. You track everything, and you're always looking for ways to get a little bit better. Confidence comes from having the data, the proof that you have an edge. All right, pop quiz. This is your personal confidence checklist. And again, let's be radically honest with ourselves. Go down this list one by one. Can you say, yes, I have clearly defined entry criteria? How about, I have predetermined stop-loss rules for every single trade? Or this one's a big one. I have survived a major drawdown and stuck to my plan the whole time. Pros can check off pretty much every box here. But here's the rule of thumb. You shouldn't even think about trading serious money until you can honestly check at least 8 of these. This isn't about making you feel bad, it's about making sure you're ready for the reality of the market. Okay, last piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about the daily habits, the rituals. Top athletes have them, top surgeons have them, and you better believe top traders have them. This isn't some fluffy, nice-to-have thing. This is the daily work that keeps your mind sharp and your discipline intact.
And look, this professional toolkit isn't some crazy, complicated system. It's actually built on really simple but incredibly powerful habits. We're talking like 5 or 10 minutes of meditation before the market opens, just to get your head clear and neutral. A quick review of your trading plan, reminding yourself of your risk limits for the day. And at the end of the day, journaling. And not just your profits and losses, but how you felt. Was I scared on that trade? Was I greedy on this one? These little things done every day add up to create that bulletproof discipline.
So, if you're going to remember just one thing from all of this, make it this. This is the formula for psychological success in trading. It's the 4 Ps. Preparation, having a rock-solid plan. Practice, putting in the reps, day after day. Patience, waiting for the market to give you your setup, not just chasing anything that moves. And persistence, sticking to your rules, especially when it's hard. You nail these 4 things, and that is how you get a real, lasting psychological edge. So I'll just leave you with this one last thought. You've got a trading plan, right? You probably spent weeks, maybe even months, perfecting it. But let me ask you this. Do you have a psychological plan? Have you spent even 1 hour figuring out how you're going to handle fear, greed, and the pressure of a drawdown? Because ultimately, the market isn't something you master. The only thing you can truly master is yourself. And the trader who does that is the trader who wins.